right, good afternoon. I call this meeting of the Pocomoke City Plan and Zoning Commission to order. We'll go through the agenda as it is written. We'll just move on to item 2, approval of the minutes from October 23rd, 2025 and January 22nd, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
I only have one question about the way it's written. It says chairs, and it includes me, Chip, everyone as chairs. Is that the way it should be verbiaged, or should it be like chair, vice chair, then members, or how's that go? I'm just kind of curious because it's kind of,
They all, those, I don't have the minutes.
because he's supposed to be the chair, it kind of makes it look like we're all chairs.
Yeah, it has president.
That's the only question I have.
Would it be chairs, then chair, vice chair, and then commissioners, or?
I believe your titles are commissioners, so I would think that would be more correct to say president. Yeah, yes. And I think actually you're I think president should actually probably be changed to chair.
Chair, yeah.
And chair should be changed to either members or commissioners would suffice.
So how do we make it?
You would just make a motion saying to change those, that verbiage, I suppose, and that's it? I think everything else looks pretty solid to me.
So is that a motion to change the verbiage from president to chair and chairs to members
We're calling it members or
or
commissioners?
commissioners?
Whichever is, I think they're both accurate.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes, changing some verbiage from president to chair and chairs to commissioners.
Is this a motion to approve both?
Approve both. Yeah.
I second.
It's been seconded. The motion has been made and seconded. So is there all in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It's been so moved. All right, so before we move on to item number 2, I am one of the applicants for item 2, so I would need to recluse myself and hand over the duties for this to our Vice Chair Jasmine to do that and step down from the duties.
All right, I guess we're going to be moving to agenda item number 3, which is request approval for zoning map amendment from B2 general business to the planned residential development to construct 15-unit apartments at 0 Old Virginia Road, tax map 402, grid 11, parcel 1606. The zoning map amendment request is from M1 Industrial and B2 General Business filed by Cypress Grove LLC, also known as Miles and Main Property Group. So do we want to go into maybe staff report first?
Yes.
Good evening.
Good
Brent
evening.
Jett with GMB, planning liaison for town. We received the original plans previously. The engineer is on his way, should be coming through the door any second now. He has a revised site for this evening that we can talk to. I didn't get a chance to get a staff report together for what he has, but I've seen it and I understand it, but there was no formal submission for it, so I can't really create a staff report for it because you haven't seen it yet. On the original one, he did get a copy of my comments of the staff report, so he revised it a little bit. There was a kind of in limbo, more or less an easement in there, a paper street that has been utilized as an entrance to both the neighboring property and this property in the past that just was never deeded, so to speak. So it's in limbo. The applicant is planning to put a quitclaim in or adverse possession on it, and then they can subdivide that from either a right-of-way or a cross-access easement and take a portion of that and add it to the main parcel. Right now, the main parcel, the density per the PRD only comes out to 14 units, and they've proposed 15. So that portion that they're going to reintegrate into the other portion or parcel will get them to the 15 units. Right on time. Beyond that, it's just a matter of parking space semantics. A lot of times, if 20 feet is required or 18 feet is required, we'll typically overhang 2.5 into landscaping or 6 inches on the, so it's only 17.5 feet of pavement. It's standard. I'm not that familiar with Pocomoke, how tight things are kind of pushed out, but we've had the discussion about it. I guess that's one of the items on the table for discussion, whether it could be 17.5 with 6 inches at the curb line, or it needs to be 14 or full 18 feet of pavement for the depth on the parking spaces. There will be a shared access for the parcel to the southwest on the same side. They are the same owner for this, so they're proposing a shared entry drive to access both. They've had preliminary discussions with the county. The county wanted them to do a full commercial entrance, which has decel lanes and large radii going in. It adds a lot of pavement. It adds a lot of kind of unnecessary out there for cars for a normal residential entry. They'll have further discussions, but I know on the plan that he has with them now, it shows the commercial entrance on there. The setbacks are consistent with the PRD. The parking exceeds what's required out there. They are showing the dumpster location out there. They'll have to refine the open space, but I think they meet the open space requirements for 25% on the site. I think that about covers questions. They did receive preliminary stormwater approval as well.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have any questions for him before he sits down? I don't think I do, though.
I don't have any questions.
How y'all doing? So Jermaine Xavier, so the owner of Miles and Main Property Group, which is both of these assets that we're talking about here today. Xavier Capital LLC and Cypress Grove LLC, like all those LLCs. I mean, they're all different names. We all own all of the companies involved. So first off, before we start, thank you so much for this special hearing. I know that you guys went out of your way for this for us. So I appreciate that. All right. So
Do we have a microphone on?
it's not on?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk them. Oh, there we go. Now it's working. There we go. I had my sultry voice on earlier. So, so the staff report piece, we'll talk to some of the more general parts before I let the guys get into the technical pieces. So, item number 1 on the staff report that I saw was that there was 2 different parcels, and making sure that the owner of each was okay with the shared access. But we own both pieces of this, so even though the person writing the staff report didn't know that, that wouldn't be an issue because we're not going to, dispute our own use of our own land. So that piece, and then we're going to talk about the density part. So when we were originally doing the land portion, the unofficial survey for the land parcel made it so it was like 14.6 units that would fit in there. So we were asking for a variance to fit 15 units. I don't know if you guys remember that from our first original ask of this, but when we got the official back, it came in at like 14.03. So we're really asking for like 0.97. So what we decided to do instead of doing that, we're going to actually do it properly and get the portion deeded over to that, so that actually meets that 15 unit requirement for the density. So we're working through that now. And since we've been using the right of way for this, since it was built, basically, there's a technical term that they use that we're going to use to do that. And we're going to have enough till we have 15 units density on 1607, correct? 1606, which is the parcel that we're building the 15 units on, and the rest of it will be on 1607, which is the one where the existing 6 unit that we already own adjacent. So.
All right, again, thank you. As Jermaine said, I'm Harold White, the owner of Cypress Grove as well, one of the owners. So again, we appreciate it. Appreciate you all taking this this emergency meeting. So as Jermaine was stating, what we've already started doing, we've already started working with our attorney, and we've already started working with the survey company, George E. Young, to extend this parcel over, which that original easement was a paper street, as Mr. Brett said. And what happened is these two parcels originally were one parcel, the propane tank and our existing townhouses. They were then quote unquote subdivided, and there was a right of way that was there that was not taken over. The ownership wasn't taken over all these years, which normally happens. And so that's what we're looking to do the claim over, and that's Mr. Ayat is showing that right there, the easement.
So there is a 35-foot platted easement that was recorded in the 1940s, but it was never ratified from what we can understand. And so these properties have enjoyed that, and there was a right-of-way. So their attorney is working to, via adverse possession or whatever, to make that right-of-way, to get rid of the right-of-way on the books. And then this is what we were alluding to in terms of taking a portion of this strip and applying it to this parcel, which then gets our land area up to a little over 26,000 square feet, so 0.6 acres, and at 25 units per acre, that gives us 15 units.
Correct.
So it's very straightforward, and then the residual will be going to the existing townhouse project.
Correct.
The other thing that's kind of important, one of the early comments from County Public Work or County Roads was they were concerned about the proximity of the entrance to Market Street. Well, by moving the entrance all the way to the shared entrance, as opposed to creating an entrance on this parcel, we have satisfied their concerns. So the other thing, Brent mentioned that I had shown the commercial entrance. You can kind of see it in blue, and I've got smaller versions. It's preposterous, to have a commercial entrance for this property, because this is what it does. I mean, it's just ridiculous. So we'll be having the conversation with the County Public Works. Our intention is to not do that. I just wanted to show what that commercial entrance looks like in real life. It's ridiculous. So, but I think we have satisfied the intent of, or their principal concern, which was proximity to Market Street.
And congestion, yeah, definitely.
And they even alluded to right in, right out, which is, again, it's not warranted by the traffic count that we're going to be generating. But we'll have to have those conversations with.
We've generated. We've already started the conversations. The Worcester Highway the county highway engineer. He's out right now. He comes back on next Monday. So that's something that's already in the work. He's aware of it, working with his supervisor as well. So that conversation has been started, and we're looking for favorable agreement with that, with the concept that we have.
The only other two pieces were the parking count and the parking length.
So parking count was another thing that the highway engineer he referenced. It's not a part of his jurisdiction, but it was a concern that Dan Brandy brought up based on his comment. That is something that we have also accommodated. The code speaks and said 1.5 parking spaces per unit, which equates to about 23 parking spaces, and I think we have 29. And what we've done with the two properties, we're two things. We're going to record that both properties can share this right-of-way entrance, as well as the existing property 1607 is going to we have an agreement already drafted to give away four parking spaces, I believe, which gives us 31 in total. So we've exceeded that requirement as well. So what we're trying to do is exceed the original requirements, and we've done things through our engineer to ensure that we're meeting the requirements, and we've addressed the comments from the staff report, Mr. Brandy Weave, Pryor, and Worcester County as well. So we've been proactive with the stormwater, with the environmental, and I will reiterate that, you know, it was a favorable marching orders going forward for the 15 previously with the unofficial survey. So I just want to reiterate that how much upfront work we've done since the last time we talked in June. And as far as the open space, we did discuss that, so we've exceeded that as well by, I'm not sure how many percent, so about 30% or so. Because we're at 7,000 and we needed 6,000 approximately, so we've exceeded that as well.
Yeah, in terms of lot coverage, yes. Yeah.
And
So to be clear on the parking, the requirement was 1.5 spaces per unit. The comment was 2 spaces per unit, and we've gotten over the 2 spaces per unit. So I don't know if that was.
right, yeah.
And the only other one was the length of the parking. It was a 6-inch delta.
So we
Brent discussed that in his
staff.
So with the 17.5 foot of paving, then we have the vehicle overhang.
Of 6.
So typically in a lot of municipalities, when we design parking, we'll do 17.5 feet to the curb, and then the bumper overhang, and it counts as a 20-foot parking space. So the advantage is you have less asphalt, because, you know, more land, the less asphalt you can have, the more plantable area you can have.
So, with that being said, we're here today to look for did you have anything that you want additional to add?
Go over that with you, but
Okay.
I don't have elevations to show now.
Okay, so we don't have elevations tonight, but they will be forthcoming. But the goal for tonight, understanding what the PRD zoning is and what that plan is, it's a land use agreement, basically, or land use negotiation, and so how we're going to utilize the land. And I think that changing this from a propane tank to infill, which is going to be a benefit to the city from our perspective, we're looking for approval to have this as a PRD zoned area, the negotiated area, and looking for the approval to proceed with our plan. Did anybody have anything else to add?
Is Old Virginia Road a state highway?
No, it's a county.
This county? I know there's very large concerns about traffic during school hours, because we already have a housing development in that area, and schools can get busy. There's just kind of a concern of mine on traffic in that area. I don't know how else you guys would alleviate that, though. I was trying to see if there was a way you could get from your property to Market Street to alleviate it in a different way, but you understand my concern a little bit, though?
Well, as a practical matter, these are going to be market rate apartments, and you guys are going to be marketing to Wallops and places like that. So this is, to be able to afford the rent here, they're going to have to adjust. So I just don't see that. I've got to think that they're going to be, for the most part, you know, not going to be, school hours wouldn't be a conflict necessarily. So.
Well, those people would have kids too, you know.
Sure.
So,
I know it's already an issue in that area, so this is just going to add to that issue. I just wanted to raise that as a kind of an awareness, because I know that it's something that the citizens in that area are concerned with.
Yeah, that was our intention,
You know,
was
it's
to
kind
move.
of like the sidewalk is on Cedar, the sidewalk is on one side of the road, the it's not on the other side of the road, but kids still choose to walk in the middle of the street. I don't have an issue, I haven't had an issue with traffic with the, with the schools. They're staggered nicely as far as start times and departure times, so it sort of thins out and it might pick back up again. But in fact, I just went back through it again today. Late after that's I saw all the high school kids walking in the middle of the street. I'm going, there's a sidewalk. And I didn't encounter any problems per se that I would say, oh, that's an issue.
Yeah, I would say 2
But I'm
point.
not coming from Woodlands or anything else trying to get out.
Right.
But there was just no congestion worth having a discussion about that I have experienced. So, but I could understand where some might, if they're in a hurry trying to get to work and they got a few cars and it's like, I gotta get my kid to school, I gotta get, just sort of panic time. I can understand that and I can probably relate to it. But
It's not, as far as I know, it's not a problem during the day, it's just a problem during, let's say, the morning hours or the afternoon hours when they get off.
Mm-hmm.
like I said, I was there in the thick of things today.
What's that?
I was in the thick of things today.
Yeah, I would say 2 points to address. One, that's we were trying to move the entrance away from the intersection as much as design possible. But the second piece is, I lived there for 6 months when I was doing a detail out of Wallops, and I didn't really notice anything. A couple of times, I will admit, in the morning, you're trying to make a left-hand turn out of there, and there was a line of cars, but not like down the block. It was 6 cars at the intersection, so I don't know if that was huge. I mean, I'm assuming now might be 8 cars, but I didn't see it as something detrimental. It's certainly not a safety issue, I didn't think.
So you guys are putting in a sidewalk as well?
Yes, sir.
For the property, yes. Mhm. So it's gonna start from the edge of our property, closest to Market Street, and then it's gonna tie into our existing property, going towards Cedar.
Yeah, with the appropriate areas of refuge. The areas of refuge are also designed for accessible passage. Mm.
So the idea here is to take some land from your other site and adopt it into this site.
No, out of the right of way.
From the easement. But yes.
That's technically your property, even though it's labeled a right of way.
Correct.
So that is the 1607 property.
Yes.
So it's basically a property line adjustment.
So how's that change on the density
So
for
we're-
the other property? Does that change,
No.
does that put it underneath, or is that
That only
still
has
okay?
six- That other property only has 6 units.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was my only other concern I had, so.
So we're moving over 12 and a half feet?
17.
So 17 minutes.
17 to get to the 26,100.
Any start from you guys?
I don't have any questions. Everything. I appreciate that some of the changes you did make are more on the improvement side of things since the last time that you came before us, so I appreciate that.
So do we have any motions?
Just, if I could just kind of point where we are in the whole process and what the next step would be. So this is the review and recommendation phase for the Planning Commission, and so based on what you've heard today, it's the Planning Commission's role to provide any suggested revisions, if any, together with any comments and recommendations. So any motion that you might want to make, I would ask that it address that. I'm not saying you have to have any, and then those comments would be, and the comments and recommendations would then be forwarded up to the City Council for their review and official approval in a public hearing.
Can we ask questions? Oh, okay. So from this meeting, we're leaving with recommendations to the city council. So the city
Yes.
council is ultimately the approver.
They have to, when there's a zoning amendment, it has to be done by way of a public hearing with advertising, and that would be done through the council. And so that's where we are in the process. The commission provides comment and recommendation. Those comments and recommendations go to the council. they take those into account during the official approval process that would happen before the council.
Who actually writes who's responsible for writing the PRD?
Like
Does that
the
come out
actual,
of the actual language of the PRD?
well, it might be me, it might be another attorney in my office, it might be a combination of both of us, or, you know, yeah.
I was just curious.
Okay, so for our timeline, so we're leaving here, going to mayor, city
Well, they have
council.
to make a motion first.
Yeah,
Right.
there'd be, I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
there's,
assuming that
anything could
happens.
happen, but
Yeah,
that's what would happen next, is there'd be a motion to do something, with what you presented, and assuming the commission wants to go forward and, to the council, go to the council for them to put on the agenda to officially approve that.
okay, so we still have probably a month or so.
One step closer.
I'm gonna take a stab at this and putting forth making a motion on approving the zoning map amendment request from the M1 industrial to the B2 general business filed by Cypress Grove. Based on, pretty much they have addressed all of the parking requirements. They have initiated the roads division coordination. And they've prepared the parking agreement for the execution of that. Your stormwater submission has been acceptable, and obviously the utility request meets compatibility. And yes, and that's my motion. If that's
Is it a motion to, it's a motion to approve,
That's what I
their
said.
request?
Yeah.
Based on the fact that they've addressed the concerns.
right, and I just happened to
Okay.
just put them out. But
So-
yes, it was a motion to approve based on what I read, as far as meeting the criteria.
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye?
All opposed? All right, looks like this has been accepted. So we can accept Chairman back, or actually, we can just close without him, couldn't we? You want to go to the next agenda and just close it, or do comments? Okay, so we're going to move to agenda item number 4, which is comments. Do we have anything from the commission?
None from me.
None for me either. Okay, we'll move on to the audience. Do we have anything from the audience?
No.
Looks like we're good there too. All right, so then,
And make a motion to adjourn.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right, meeting adjourned.
So, procedural question. There's a public there's a public advertisement, and then it's got to be advertised for 45 days before the public hearing?
I don't even think it's that long, actually.
Yeah, it was like a
30.
We do it for 2
I
weeks.
thought it was like 2
Oh.
weeks.
Yeah, it might even be two, maybe it is 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
It's definitely not 45 days.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's 2
Okay.
weeks, once
was
they, from the,
It's not an MDU permit.
Okay. Okay.
no, they ask for your soul for that.
So we could, in theory, be toward the end of this month or early next month?
I'm not in charge of that, but if it's on the
When-
agenda, for the mayor and city council,
When's the
you
next
know.
meeting? That was gonna be my question.
Next mayor and council meeting is March the 16th.
It just happened
Oh,
yesterday,
so
didn't it?
Next week,
Yeah, so the very next one is March 16th. So,
March 16th.
Probably not gonna meet
It's
the
gotta be advertised.
advertising, but maybe for the next.
for the next one, it's gonna just
They
miss the advertising.
for, Dan
Is it
advertised
7 days
for
or
7
14 days?
Yeah, but you could go to the next council meeting
It's a 7-day requirement.
and then post the advertisement for 2 weeks for the next
This is true.
meeting.
Yes.
So in January, but
And, you know, for the public hearing, and be done with it.
needs to.
After the 16th, what is that?
Quite the journey.
So the 16th, then the next council, well, that's the thing, because of the,
I feel like they need to adjust that.
because the,
What do you
even
mean?
though there's no election,
When the people leave the school, the light changes.
That would,
Yeah.
Get budget season too.
that would be the
That's what I've been asking.
That'd be a good question for the county.
The swearing in would be after that,
And all the bosses.
rather than a meeting.
And all of that. Half of the people they do like, in the light change.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Oh, man,
You know, if
14.
on the timer, if that light was still green, you would have, I don't think they would
14 day
have
after 2 weeks.
That's true.
by the school that you do.
That's a good idea, dude.
Nobody,
I don't know who we would bring that up to.
I mean, I would always look at that.
But
Here.
they stapled,
Yeah.
Hey, what?
they stapled
Yeah,
it,
I
so
always
I think
look
the
at
next
that,
mayor
but
council
nobody
meeting
ever,
is
Yeah.
like the
you know, I
second,
feel like that's something
second
to look
Monday in
at.
April.
I think these
When
licenses
did they
are
do the
bad.
swearing in?
That's what I think it is, I think it's the second Monday.
But I don't
Or second.
Yeah, it'd be the,
Yeah, they don't
the
do it.
election would have been the 7th, so it's usually the
And that's
following
the
Monday,
problem I was telling him, I think
Is
that's
it
the
13?
problem.
It'd be the 13th, yeah.
At the timing of the light, if the light was.
That's fair.
Each day green longer, leave it from
I
the.
mean, we
We've
still
seen
need to
longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be an
I
hour.
don't think, I mean, as far as the ordinance would be prepared,
Because that's the next market.
like,
We
anyway.
don't get no different traffic
You
pattern,
know what I'm
coming
saying?
from the
Like,
school
why-
at
we still have to do an ordinance.
2:45.
Yeah, whatever.
That feels.
So we would need
Yeah,
to.
so you need that light to stay green longer.
At the next meeting, would they meet? The March 16th meeting, anything?